You've heard the memes.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Stop it! Don't open that door!
Here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
You've seen this incredible FMV intro. You've maybe given it a try and screamed in frustration at the tank controls, the inventory management, and the inane puzzles. But I'm here to tell you that despite those foibles, and honestly in some sick way because of them, the original Resident Evil from 1996 is a crowning achievement in gaming which sowed the seeds for the billion-dollar franchise that followed. When I first booted up Resident Evil, I couldn't stop laughing.
Wow, what a mansion!
Is this real? How in the world could a game this janky with such unbelievably bad voice acting instill terror? This was the genesis of survival horror? After escaping the Spencer Mansion with Jill Valentine 7 hours later, I finally get it. Even if I got one of the bad endings, but more on that later. Barry, no. Oh my god, Barry dies?
My God!
Investigating a series of cannibalistic murders, Bravo team of the Raccoon City Special Tactics and Rescue Service, also known as STARS, finds themselves in a mysterious mansion. Inside are unspeakable horrors, flesh-eating zombies, vicious dogs, a giant snake, and many other terrors await. Evil residents, if you will. Nope. Bravo team is mostly decimated, with the exception of the playable characters, Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, their partners, Rebecca Chambers and Barry Burton, and STARS captain Albert Wesker. The core gameplay consists of exploring the mansion, solving puzzles to unlock new areas. Am I gonna play this on right now? Yeah, I am. And fighting any creatures you encounter. Oh my god. I was impressed at how well this gameplay loop hooked me. The thrill of finding a piece of a puzzle, of not knowing what was behind the next door, of deciding whether to run or to fight was extraordinarily engaging. And honestly, the plot was great. It was fun, even if it wasn't always delivered in the best way.
You guys are idiots. No one understands its real value.
Umbrella, a pharmaceutical company developing secret bioorganic weapons for some nefarious purpose? Brilliant. Wesker's betrayal,
Just as I thought.
followed by his near immediate death by Tyrant,
Don't come this way! No!
is mwah. I did unfortunately end the game on a bit of a downer with Barry dying and the Tyrant on the loose. Apparently, if Barry survived the mansion self-destructs, then there's one epic final fight with the Tyrant on the roof. I didn't see that. Jill and Chris just kinda leave? Roll credits. Huh? Apparently, when Barry lowers Jill down a hole and drops the rope and claims he'll be right back, you actually have to wait for him to return?
Hey, what's going on?
I didn't, since I saw an obvious path forward. Barry had no problem abandoning me whenever he felt like it.
Yeah.
That choice sealed Barry's fate, which was sad. But in retrospect, I kinda love that I got this weird, not so great ending. There was no warning that I made a bad choice or missed something. I stumbled my way to that ending all on my own. It felt pretty novel when compared to how much handholding can be found in games these days. On the flip side, the pretty complicated puzzle solving I did to rescue Chris from his cell was entirely optional and missable. Pretty cool, and brutal. At least Chris and Jill lived to fight another day. I've got a bad feeling this is only the beginning for these two. I spent a quarter of my playthrough backtracking. At least one of my deaths wiped away a solid hour of playtime. I laughed during nearly every serious scene.
Oh no, I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
And I got a bad ending. So why did Resident Evil work for me?
Tyrant virus is a super virus, which creates a monster which is much stronger than human beings. Tyrant is the most powerful biological weapon in the world.
You don't mean you're experimenting on real people?
This is really beautiful.
I love this so much. I was overwhelmed by its never-ending charm. The beauty of the mansion displayed brilliantly in pre-rendered 3D, teeming with detail. The enemy variety, the scares. Yes, a 30-year-old game still got me pretty good a few times. I'm dead. I thought it would be somewhat of a miserable slog to get through this piece of gaming history. I figured it would be old and clunky, and sure, it certainly was, but who cares? I was just constantly blown away by how much fun I was having. Oh, that was sick. I do feel a little bad for the developers when it comes to the English voice acting.
That's what I was going to say. Where on earth have you been?
From my research, it seems like they were pretty disappointed with the localization
Whoa! This hall is dangerous!
and felt like it took away from the horror. And it absolutely does.
Okay, I leave it up to you.
But this unintentional camp sets the stage for all of the Resident Evil games to follow, and the series has been battling between its terror and goofball tendencies ever since. Shout out to Resident Evil Requiem for being a near perfect balance of the two. I started this game with the lowest of expectations, hoping at the bare minimum just to say, I played the original Resident Evil. Instead, I walked away with a newfound respect for the franchise and fond memories of my time in the Spencer Mansion. I cannot wait to continue my journey through all of this series' highs and lows. That's one down, approximately 24 Resident Evils to go. Up next, Resident Evil 2 from 1998.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down!